I've noticed you've been working on your Gandalf. I really like your Gandalf impression.
It's not. I don't think it's that good.
Oh well, okay.
I appreciate it, but it's like I know it could be better. I've heard people that it's like same thing with like Morgan Freeman. I've heard people that are really good, and I'm just like, oh, I know I'm not that good.
I've also seen the Bane with the toilet roll.
Oh
That's
yeah,
pretty fun.
that
I
one's
like
easy.
That one.
You can pretty much just do it with your hand as well.
Yeah, it's yeah, that one's
When I was a kid, I used to I love the Dark Knight trilogy, and I notoriously used to impersonate Bane, but it ended up sounding like Miss Fowl from Jimmy Neutron. It was just like, I'm Bane.
I'm Bane, Jimmy Neutron.
I was born in the darkness.
Wait, can you do that very quickly, just like as best as you can?
Okay.
Deep breath.
into
What is the
character.
full line? It's like,
Oh wait, you were merely born in the you merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it.
you merely
Nah, you gotta commit. You got.
you merely adopted the darkness. I was born in it. See, this is
That was like Harry Potter.
see, this is
You merely adopted the darkness. I was born.
I'm Miss Fowl. Yeah, see, like there's just such a disconnect between like how our brains work, like the way that you can nail down these like tones and like octaves. I don't know, is astonishing to me.
Oh, thank you. That's really sweet. Man.
Is there a point where, let's say, like your John Mulaney impression, right? Is there a point where impressionists like you beef, not beef, but like it's in the sense where, oh, I did that better, or oh, God damn it, he did this better. Or...
This is interesting because I recently went on Gianmarco Cerezi's podcast. He's a very talented comedian and actor. He's awesome, and we actually did our John Mulaney impressions for each other, and I smoked him. He didn't stand a chance. It's adorable. It's adorable that he thought he stood a chance. Yeah, it was interesting because what we talked about is that he talked about like his key into like John Mulaney is like, the one where he's yelling all about his very volume. It's just wow. And my key is the one where he's sort of on the back foot and he's just sort of almost just accepting that life is never going to amount to anything. It's just like that's my key is the one where he's on the back. It's like the one where he's just lesser energy. Just the one where he's not putting anything, just nothing is worth it. Just like, but yeah, that, and so we were just experimenting with levels and like where, what like our key into it was. But yeah, mine is better. No, I will say, no, sometimes an impressionist will actually help you do it a better one. Like it's, especially if you're trying to nail one, it's very helpful to see like how other people do impressions of them and then stealing, like you can notice like what they do and then sort of stealing that. And so, but I'm very quick to admit, like there's a dude called Matt Friend. His @ is Matterday Night Live.
Yeah,
and shouts out to him as well. And he does a really good Jeff Goldblum, and I could never get close to that.
And
His
Howard
is just
Stern,
too
too.
good. Oh yeah, he does
And he
amazing
does,
Howard Stern.
Maniscalco, right? Is that,
Oh, yeah.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
But the thing is,
But interestingly, like he does a really good Rami Malek, and I started copying what he did, and like because he's hi everyone, it's Rami Malek, and it's like, I'm really just copying what he does, and I got okay. I'm fairly confident with it. His is much better, but I'm like, I found his really helpful to like actually see what he does.
well, I feel like some people to get across, like some people have such distinctive voices that you can just kind of do like the nuances of their voice. And then some people are more of like a caricature almost of their voice, like it's much more like inflated.
Yeah.
just-
Like Christopher Walken is just, it lends itself to being like, guys, it's just very loud. It's just like,
yeah.
you just go as hard as you can. It's just like a lot of that. You just do a lot of, it's just a lot, like a bit like Ms. Fowl leaning in there. But like, yes, definitely some impressions, you kind of have to lean into that.
Yeah.
So what you said you can look and kind of take a piece. What is it that you can notice from someone to change your voice? Does that make sense? My question.
It's hard. It's sort of noticing like what someone's key into it. Like you can tell like the sort of tendencies, like especially with seeing someone who does a Christopher Walken impression, it almost always starts at like this note, this sort of no, seriously though, that like it's sort of like that part, that word, that placement of your voice, like that's where it tends to start. Or maybe just or just like a way their face sits, like with Rami Malek, he sort of like he just starts with just like just a little way, just a little touch. However, someone starts is like is really helpful.
And
it's really hard to describe because it's never something I've been able to put into words. It's just something I've always sort of conceptually just sort of recognized.
So
Yeah.
the start of however you start, be it vocally or I guess
Yeah. Also, like body language, like the way like you hold your body or your face, it helps like direct the voice.
and once you start, that pretty much tunes yourself in.
Exactly, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's very interesting, actually.
That body thing is very interesting. I noticed that in Matt Friend's Jeff Goldblum. He does a lot of this.
Oh yeah. Oh hey, you creatures and goblins. Hello. It's like it's just like that sort of like wiggliness that he has. That is just it helps. It just helps.
That is fascinating, truly.
Last time you were on here, you did a bunch of impressions, but are you trying to distance yourself from that? Is it still your
A little
game?
bit. I am actually a little because I didn't want to be like pigeonholed.
Fair.
True.
Because because I've been asked like before. I don't want to be thought of just as an impressionist.
Right.
And I really wanted to like challenge myself to like shift more into stuff that I actually wrote. And I didn't. And I wanted to actually be.
True.
I wanted to be like known more for like comedy writing and performance rather than just like impressions.